where I'd seen these reports and people that were just basically testing services and tiny little amounts of consumption, but they were obviously doing something. And so I went out and I found a couple of these organizations that had some of the top, amounts that were testing, but they weren't buying anything. And I just used LinkedIn, and rather than going after one, two, or five of the senior people at these organizations, I'd go after 30, I'd go after 50, and I'd send them all connection requests and just try to get after them. And there was one that I sent 30 requests to. They were a small organization, sent 30 requests, and I got 11 that accepted my my contact request. And then I had one that replied to my follow-up. That's it, one. And they said, yeah, you need to talk to this guy. We're actually testing you against another competitor, and you need to talk to this guy because he's running that project. So I called him up and ended up going out there. And I actually went out there under a preconceived notion. I didn't think it was going to be a very large deal. But I went out there and again, created the face-to-face from the digital selling platform. And long story short, within 3 months, we moved their entire platform into our cloud. It was the biggest deal done in our division that year. And that deal is still paying off because they're still a client. It was a new logo for us. They're still a client, great partnership, great relationship. But when I talk about, that type of approach, that's worked for me in working with mom and pop shops, 1, 2 sole proprietor shops, 5, 10, 15 employees, all the way up to some of the massive deals that my team and I have done over the last several years. I took the same approach. I got a new gig about 6 months ago, and I took the same approach. I'm in an interesting spot today. I work in technology and healthcare, and
Okay.
I was able to connect with some of the senior leaders of some of these massive, health organizations on LinkedIn. I sent them a note day 1, day 2 in the role, and I was meeting some of these senior folks. Now, I didn't discriminate. I don't just want to meet with the senior folks. I've actually connected with over 150 people at some of the top organizations that I service today. And I haven't met them all in person, but I'm connected with them. And I think what's key to understand when you do this, Sam, is that you're building a community around what you do, but you're meeting them where they want to be met. Some of these people met with me right away, face to face, but a lot of them, they're part of my network. And now I'm inviting them to webinars that we do. I invite them to events. I send them a newsletter. And a lot of times that's when they decide to engage.